back, make that girl dance, let's go. Yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glocky gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man. My chopper get hot, just like a pan. Got the headlights, just like a ram. I got 10 toes and I counted 10 fingers, so I do not need a helping hand. Monopoly crib, I'm moving again. Got your bitch on me, she grooving again. Let's got them again, I just give them a reason to hate. My niggas shooting again. My creep, my roof, drop that shit again. She saw my dick, then she mocked up my friend. No, we do not wanna feel too again. When she let me go, I'm on the loose again. She on the molly, she tryna boot again. She ain't in mine, this girl is a lend. I prayed every time when I thought you sent. I write in my mind, I don't use a pen. She giving me time, I watch cause a lamb. Just give me more time, other watch cause a Benz. Look at Lil Uzi, he popping again. Them niggas, they switching, they hopping again. Look at them niggas, they opping again. She giving that top and she slopping again. Look at this album, it's flopping again. Not taking a break, I'm not stopping again. Too much guap, bands, bellow foreign tan. She ignored that man, fucking with me, handstand. I can't lie, she got that good, but that girl, bad. I stay with her, back, make that girl dance, let's go. Yeah, what is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glocky gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man. Spent 100,000 on a brand new point on choker. Automatic girls got a motor. I can feel that shit in my shoulder. Brand new watch cost a quarter, and you know it's flooded in water. You know every day I'm getting older, but I'm young enough for your daughter. And you know my neck is flooded in boulders. Getting money, yeah, that's my quota. Even though Lil Uzi getting older, know I'm young enough for your daughter. Every time I'm in my mind, I focus. She give me hypnosis. Talking about the love can't hold it. Talking about the guap can't fold it. Talking about your mind, no, you don't own it. Yeah, just take your time and gotta decode it. Yeah, it's on my mind and they just know it. Yeah, fast pace all the time. Yeah, I can't so much. Yeah, bands, bellow foreign tan. She ignored that man, fucking with me, handstand. I can't lie, she got that good, but that girl, bad. I stay with her, back, make that girl dance, let's go. Yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glocky gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man.
Today, we're talking about the Broncos, an honorable mention team for the upcoming college football playoff. And let's cash a squad ride. This is Behind the Lines. Bro, you're doing trick shot home runs. From, by the way, a former Ray who couldn't hit shit. Now the Orioles got him. Now he's fucking Barry Bonds. Doing trick shot home runs, Goots. And you can't even get within 10 games of 500, but you can do trick shot home runs. Never seen that before in my life. That's the most Orioles shit I've ever seen.
How is Aaron Judge, the face of the league, Captain America, hopping on a plane before the game even ends? That doesn't make sense when it rattles around in my brain. To be honest, that pisses me off.
Actually, no way. Unbelievable rage bait. Was that a target attack? Why were there 20 people at once coming in?
Pretty good at it, you guys, not gonna lie.
I think I found somebody involved in baseball I hate more than Aaron Judge. This guy right here, this geezer, who thinks he's playing left field. Worse than a Disney adult. 4 straight years, Jovan. Look at this one. This one got overturned because he's diving over the... He almost fell on the field. What a loser. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 741 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit. If you are not using Bookit every single day and you're betting on sports every day, if you're in here every day and you're not using Bookit Sports, go check it out on the App Store or Google Play. We've got Bookit at the Park this weekend. Super hyped for that. We're going to the Yankees Astros game on Saturday. Excited to hang out with Bookit at the Park. Get your tickets. Hate to promote Yankee Stadium, but we'll be there. Get your tickets for Saturday. W Bookit at the Park. W Bookit. W Jovan. Happy Tuesday, my man.
It's good, Krabs.
Doing well. We got a couple YouTube chats up and moving. Scott Quaid, what's up, Beast? We got Haven Hunter. We got Michael Showers. Fellas, let's have a day. Yes, sir, Michael. Only option we got, my man. Nathan Bieri getting involved. Krabs was at the Yankee Rangers game last night. Immediately thought of you at the end. So that means I'm doing my job. If you're thinking of me during Yankees meltdowns. Hell yes, Nathan Bieri. It's getting sad, man. It's getting sad. Chirping the Yankees when you're getting out ahead of it is one thing and it's fun. And I feel like you're kind of setting the tone. When everybody's doing it, I don't think it's as fun, but it's getting sad. It's getting ugly out there. And I can't believe Aaron Boone is still doing these John Boy interviews, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to check that one out today. It's going to be must-see TV. I mean, imagine your team's lost 4 in a row. You lost on a walk-off last night. You got to hop on a podcast and get grilled about why your team sucks. It's fucking hilarious. Good for him for doing that still. But, man, it's getting ugly up there in the Bronx. Ugly. Who knows if Judge is coming back today? I'm pretty sure he is. Projected to. We'll talk a little bit more about that game and the rest of the games on the diamond. We're going to talk some NFL here in a minute. We're going to talk a little bit of college football. W. Nathan Bieri using the code on SeatGeek, Bookit 10. Smart man, Nathan. Save yourself some coins. Jovan, hope you had a good night last night. Besides that crazy touchdown from Notre Dame. Pretty good night. Overall?
Pretty good night, especially when the squad ride hit late night. Great bet,
Late
great
night
call
squad
from you.
rides. Yes. Sure. W recap. Great looking squad rides.
Just beautiful first fives, Krabs.
Yep. Beautiful. People are starting to take notice. Finally. As we get towards the end of the season here, these first fives have been making us some coins. If you guys aren't tailing, it's on you at this point. Please talk some football. I'm so tired of baseball. Talk first. We're going to talk some football here in a second. Let's pull up the recap.
Talked football.
See how we did overall yesterday.
3 weeks straight.
Yep. We've been starting with football every day for the last 2 weeks. Yep. W squares from me. The Lodolo pivot after Kikuchi. That square got taken off. That one wanted to hit as well if you took it early enough. He pitched 6 innings for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Shout out Kikuchi. Wow. And Lodolo cashed his less than strikeouts. Kind of handout square. Hope he's okay. He did get hurt. Sonny Gray. Great square. Great
masterclass.
Yep.
Master.
Really good square. Really good reads in that game.
Only
bet that hit yesterday for me. We'll take it. We'll take it. Right?
Certainly. Yeah, you carried squares, and just the O's that inning was just really bad. Shout out to Jollies, though.
Mm-hmm.
Jollies putting out
Great
legacies.
comeback.
And I still don't know how that under hit in the Reds game with both pitchers getting hurt 2 innings in.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you how.
Pretty weird. Pretty weird. Like lightning coming in, resubbing Cubs fan here. Thank you for Soroka Krabs. Dude's arm is toast. 2 innings into his Cubs career. Can't make it up. Here's the thing, like lightning. If your brain works and you've been following baseball the last month, unfortunately, you knew that Soroka was already hurt. And I cannot believe the Cubs traded for him. I don't know if they're stupid. Again, I don't think people watch the Nats games. I think they just guess and say shit. Because why would you watch the Nats right now? They can't win a fucking ball game. But the guy's been hurt. His velo has been down for the last month and a half, Jovan. This is not a surprise to me. I just think he's speaking up for the first time about it to the Cubs in his first game. He had to come out of the game. He got pulled.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, where's the guy in the chat that guaranteed a Yankee win yesterday? Show yourself. Be a man. Where are you?
Yeah, maybe he'll be back on surge. 2 straight.
Where is he?
Guaranteed losses.
Where is he?
Speaking of surge, shout out Trent. Happy birthday.
Wow,
happy birthday,
yes,
Trent.
thank you.
Happy birthday, Tubbs.
Thank you. Shout out Trent. Happy birthday, Trent. Happy 40th. Trent, I would not be here sitting in this chair on BTL if it wasn't for you, my man. So I appreciate you. Happy birthday. Wish I could be at Benihana with the squad later tonight. Go out there, have as much garlic fried rice as you possibly fucking can, my man. You earned it.
Got to
Have
on
a
the
day,
big
have a week.
4-0, man.
Have a day, have a week. Yeah, only so many years left, Trent. So enjoy them while you can. Happy 40th. I'm happy for you, my dude. Happy birthday. Have a day today. Excited to give you a winner on stream today. Happy birthday, Trent. Make sure you guys, if you haven't wished him a happy birthday on Twitter or X, if you actually call it that, wish him a happy birthday. He eats that shit up. And let him know in the chat as well. Keep the vibes positive, just like right now. W. Trent. Okay. All right, let's move. Let's groove. Yeah, real quick. Before we dive into some football talk here, I got a football question for Jovan. Why is your QB posting weird stories of him being a furry potentially here, going to some sort of convention? Can I get some sort of I'm assuming you've looked into this at least a little bit.
Dude,
What's
people
going
are
on
still
with Hoover?
getting
That's your
they're
guy.
still getting got by this, man.
That's your guy.
They're still getting got by this shit on Twitter. They've gone through all the quarterbacks and done the same thing. It's photoshopped. They've gone through Arch. They've gone through every quarterback in college football at this point on Twitter with the same picture. And just put their name at the top.
So it's not real.
Cap.
Daniel said it's not Photoshop, and I trust him with my life. So I don't know,
So
man.
cap. So cap.
That's the best excuse you got. It's Photoshop.
If Daniel's saying it's not Photoshop, I mean,
It's cap.
No
I mean, the
accountability.
king of
It's
Photoshop
Photoshop.
saying it's not Photoshop.
It's just.
His middle name is Photoshop.
Literally,
No counter
middle
there?
name, Photoshop.
It's just.
I feel like he might have been there.
I
Were you
mean,
there with him?
if he conveniently posted the same exact picture with the same exact caption that Arch has posted, Sand has posted, Bryce Underwood's all posted, then I will tip cap.
Better chance the Yankees win the fucking World Series than that shit being real. Come on. Let's be
It's
honest here.
just.
Let's be honest. Shit's probably not real, but wanted to ask. Interesting picture. That's your guy, man. You've been gassing up that QB all summer.
Yep.
I don't see Kyron Jones putting up stories like that. I'll say it. I see him locked in, posting stories of his wide receivers and his running backs and their highlight clips. Team player. Team player. We got William Wagers coming in hot, resubbing. Brewers first 5 -0.5. Giants first 5 -0.5. We're both air tapped into the first fives now. Thanks, Krabs. Thank you, William Wagers, for resubbing, for getting in here nice and early on a BTL. We got a hype train moving and grooving, folks. Those do not grow on trees. W hype train. All right, let's hop in. Let's talk about some football. We could sit here and talk about how shitty the Yankees are for the next hour and 20, but instead, let's dive into the segments for today as we get a 5-unit sub whale from Sade. Are you kidding me?
Sade.
Sade. Sure he can. Come on. Fuck yeah, dudes.
Go Sade.
Sade, you're him. You're him. Cola, I have nothing to bitch about today, man. Life is good. The Yankees have lost 4 in a row, and they lost on a walk-off last night. What am I supposed to bitch about? The Nats didn't play, so they couldn't lose. Mackenzie Gore pitches today. What's there to get mad about? Couldn't think of shit. If you got something for me, let me know. Okay? Don't worry. Steamed Krabs will be it'll be here sooner than we expect. It'll be here.
Yeah, Judge comes back today, so plenty of chances.
Judge has been out for 10 days. What am I supposed to do with Steamed Krabs about right now, folks? I got nothing. I'm only a man. Sade your hand. Thank you for the subbies. Let's talk some football. Let's talk about this Broncos team. Kind of came out of nowhere last year. I will toot my own horn and say that I kind of put meat on tape for the Broncos being good last year. I kind of said Bo Nix was going to be solid. It was more of a Sean Payton wager or a Sean Payton bet, right? Where I kind of said his back is against the wall here. If he doesn't show up and at least take this team to a 500 record or around there, he's probably getting canned, or maybe people are going to start asking questions about Sean Payton. And he, doubled down and he got his QB that he wanted. There were a lot of questions about it. I think most people, more than half the people, would say that was kind of a sketchy move, going out and saying Bo Nix is my guy. Older QB. I think there's some other better QBs in that draft, but it worked. You got to tip cap when shit works. And last year it worked for the Broncos. Look, I think it benefits teams in the NFL when you try something new. You get a new QB, you get a new, a new squad. The NFL is a great sport because every team at some point is good. They just kind of cycle through. Even the worst teams at some point, they had their time, right? We saw the Jags go to a fucking, conference championship a couple years ago. Every team gets their time, right? And last year it was the Broncos' time. For the first time in a while, they were pretty solid out of nowhere because teams could not slow down Bo Nix. The defense is always good out there as well. And Jovan, I guess my question is, did they add enough pieces this offseason to run it back and make the playoffs once again or be solid once again? I don't know if they did. Their wide receiver room sketches me out a little bit here. Not going to lie. I mean, Cortland Sutton, they just paid him. Not a ton, but paid him enough to come back and re-sign here. You got Mims, you got Vele, you got Trent Sherfield coming in, you got Pat Bryant, a rookie coming in who's going to be solid, but is he really going to make an impact, in his first year in the NFL? Probably not. You got Troy Franklin, Bo Nix's guy from Oregon as well, who didn't do a ton last year, but he's there. You add Evan Ingram into the fold, a pretty solid tight end, above average tight end. That might help a little bit. You got some new running backs as well. RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. People are acting like RJ Harvey is the greatest thing since sliced breads, right? People are really, really high on this kid, probably because, it's a new running back on a playoff team from last year. It's very simple and easy to see, but I'm not really seeing it with RJ Harvey. I'll be honest. I'd rather draft J.K. Dobbins in the last round of your draft and see how that works out, in my opinion, than going all in for RJ Harvey, who we haven't seen play one snap in NFL football. Then you look at their defense. They had a couple solid pieces. Drake Greenlaw comes into town. You don't really need to add much. They're already pretty solid. Really good secondary as well. We know Pat Surtain is fucking him. Defense is always good. Never really an issue for this Broncos team, right? Jovan, is their offense going to be good enough? After everybody has a year of film on Bo Nix and this Broncos offense, are they going to be good enough to avoid a sophomore slump?
I don't know if they will be. And it's funny because it feels like everybody is already penciled in, which maybe this is like CJ Stroud, I guess recency bias, but like everybody's penciled in like Jaden Daniels and the Commanders to have that sophomore slump. I haven't heard a peep about Bo Nix being one of those quarterbacks, which I think he's honestly just as good at a candidate for it because he had a very different like start to the season compared to the back half of the season, especially when you look like, and I was looking at this when I looked up some of the Baker stats and we were talking about the whole Liam Cohn thing with Trevor Lawrence, but the back half of the season, like I think people are so excited about what Bo Nix did with his arm all year and the fact that he took these crazy deep shots that we continue to see clips of. He had the highest rate in I think the last 10 weeks of the season of balls that are at or behind line of scrimmage. So like he toned it down a lot, and that was by design because I saw his tweet that was saying the first couple of weeks of the season he was writing checks with his arm that he couldn't cash, which is why the consistency was a little iffy. He was much more inaccurate at the start of the season. He just started taking less chances. So like that worked for a while, and they put up points. Obviously, relied on the defense pretty heavily, even though they were giving up some points. But if you're talking about a quarterback that's in my mind, and I think in the mind of a lot of other very smart people, like primed for a sophomore slump, it's probably a guy exactly like that who we know exactly what I guess the floor is for him, and we've seen a pretty big sample size of what the ceiling is too. So I kind of think this is tough, especially because like I'll be honest, like the defense was going to be good either way. I'm a little, I don't want to say weirded out, but they spent their whole pretty much free agency and a lot of like their large picks in the draft on defense. It's like the defense is going to be fucking gross, but it was already going to be gross. Like I probably would.
They're always doing that shit.
I know. It's just I feel like the assets could have been spread around a little bit.
I would have loved for them to draft a really good receiver in this year's draft. I would have loved for them to go somebody a little bit high. I like Pat Bryant. I think he's a good sleeper, but like an actual receiver who could give you some reps on day one, right?
Yeah, I would have liked a little more upside signings, I guess, and signings and drafting as far as the pass catching room goes. Because like Evan Ingram's awesome, but again, like we've especially at his age now, we've kind of seen what the ceiling is like. We got to see what the injury history looks like. So great ad, good like safety blanket, especially for a guy like Bo Nix who's going to need it. But like, where's the ceiling? Kind of feels like if they're going to reach that, it's probably a next year thing.
Look, I'm a Sean Payton guy, and betting the way that I bet, give and takes the way I give them, it's not easy. It's really hard because, you got to have a memory like a goldfish, right? From that fucking show that everybody loves, the soccer show, Ted Lasso, right? One of his main quotes from the first season, you got to have the memory of a goldfish. Short man. Last year was gassing up this team, saying meat on table. Sean Payton is going to prove that he's a, above average coach. He's going to shut everybody up. He did. Unfortunately, this year we got to hop off the bandwagon when everybody's, staying on or everybody's all in on Bo Nix and this team and this defense as they should be in on the defense. The defense is good every fucking year. Good every year. But is the offense going to be good enough with everybody having a year of film, this team finally having a target on their back? I'm just not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it. I would have loved to see them add another receiver. At least they did add some new RBs. I like it better than what they had last year, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
can't be that much
might not
worse.
be big RJ Harvey guys, but it's better. It's better, and I think Dobbins had a great year last year when he was healthy. Again, the dude's always hurt. He's not going to play 17 games. Can't do it. But can he give you 10 strong? Maybe. Did last year. It was great. We'll see if he can hold on this year. I'd rather draft him, though, in the last round than take a stab at RJ Harvey early, in my opinion, because if you guys haven't noticed, 9 out of 10 teams now in the NFL are going multi-RB backfields. Unless you have Saquon Barkley. And again, you're going to see that team rely more on their backup RBs this season. I guarantee it.
No.
I guarantee it. Keep them fresh. You have to after a season like last year. Too many miles. 9 out of 10 teams, 9.5 out of 10 teams are going to a multi-RB set. The Jags just came out yesterday and officially said, yep, that's what we're doing. We're going to play all 4 of our running backs. That's how the game is shifting. You got to pay attention. This game changes every fucking year. If you bet the same way, if you think the same way as you did last year, the last 5 years, this is not the sport for you. It's always changing. They're always adapting, these offenses, man. And it's, the year of the multi-RBs. You're going to see both these guys play. That's a good thing, I think, for this backfield. But is it going to be enough? I don't know. Defenses have a year of film on Bo Nix and co. Sean Payton might be feeling a little fat, happy, and complacent in the Big 2-5 after he kind of secured his job last year, right? I think we sell high, minimally. Maybe this team doesn't go, 5-12, but we sell a little bit on this team after a season like last year, right? We have to. Let's get into our best bets. Let's talk about our best bets for the Broncos in the Big 2-5. I'll take them to miss the playoffs at plus chicken. I will. Here's the teams from this this conference that we know are making the playoffs. And I wish the AFC was a little bit better. They could still sneak in, but at plus chicken, I'll take the value here instead of just fading their win total. I'll take the value here. The Bills are making it. That's 1. The Chiefs are making it. That's 2. The Ravens are making it. That's 3. Pretty confident the Bengals are going to make it as well. That's 4. I love that they're going to play their guys in the preseason. I don't love that for my Commanders this weekend when they play them, but fuck it. Let's go in hot. Let's not be scared. Let's not be timid. Play your guys. If they get hurt, they get hurt. You can't fucking predict that shit. Let's start the season off strong for the first time ever in Cincy. I love that. That's 4 teams right there. Somebody from the AFC South has to make it. For this argument, I'll go the Texans, I guess. So what? That's 5 teams. Then we got the Jaguars are involved as well. Maybe the Steelers make it too. The Chargers, probably going to get a handout look here, potentially. Out of those 3 teams, we're probably getting somebody in that puppy. Then you got to think about the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins are hanging around too. There's a lot of teams who could give the Broncos hell in that wild card, in my opinion. They're not winning the division. We know that. Let's give you the Chiefs again. Unfortunately, it's boring, but it's facts. It'll be the Chiefs again. A lot of teams, though.
It's pretty
can
tough.
Maybe sneak up.
Pretty tough end of the season for when those games will start to matter too. Their last 4 games of the season are at home against, granted, the 3 of the 4 of them are at home, which is big, but Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and the Chargers. So I would say
not easy.
Chiefs and Chargers are definitely going to be either playoff teams or damn close. So are the Packers, and then the Jags. I guess you can make that argument too, but
Patriots will be better this year. There's
Dolphins
a lot of teams I could see. Yeah, I could see a lot of teams being this year's Broncos from last year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of teams that can make that jump in the AFC. Not a lot of good teams already solidified, but a lot of teams that are going to be in the running for that wild card. It's not going to be a cakewalk for the Broncos like it was last year, respectfully. A lot of more competitive teams in the AFC. I love this play at plus chicken. I'll take the Broncos to miss the playoffs after Sean Payton and Bo Nix legacy season. They get to relax. They get to take a breath. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. They're going to be more like a Texans situation from last year, although the Texans got lucky and they still snuck in the playoffs. Probably didn't deserve it by the regular season, but they did. So let's hope we don't get something like that happening for the Broncos. But I think they'll take a minimal step back here, a little bit of a sophomore slump for Bo Nix. Not 5-12, but 7-8 wins. Maybe keeping them out of the playoffs here. I could see it. At plus money, I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
What's your best bet?
My way of selling the Broncos stock a little bit is by selling RJ Harvey, who I've never really bought in the hype over the offseason. And a lot of that's because I've never been able to unsee something after a couple. It might have been on like a broadcast or something. They pointed it out. He has a real trouble going up the middle. So like if you've noticed a lot of his runs at UCF over the course of his entire career, he's very quick to bounce outside, and that's how he beats a lot of these teams. Like all of his highlights for the most part are either just a massive gaping hole that you can't avoid through the middle of the line, whether it's an inside zone, a divers, any gap scheme or whatever. There's a hole you can't miss up the middle. If there's any sort of pressure whatsoever, anything on the line, he bounces it outside, and teams are very quick to pick that up. Obviously, when you're in the Big 12, or in his case, I think he played still when they were in the American, but playing any of those teams where like speed is your biggest asset, it's not going to matter as much. So, like you can do that, which is why he was so great. Going to the NFL year 1, I'm pretty worried about that. So like I don't think he's going to translate necessarily as great as people think. Like the explosion is there, sure. The athleticism is there, like contact balance is elite. He's going to be a guy that I think will eventually turn in as well as he can. But year 1, especially when Sean Payton also really loves pass protecting backs. RJ Harvey is a horrific pass protector. He cannot block to save his life. If you've watched him at UCF a lot, he is getting pancaked a lot. And missing assignments, which has been really bad. But we'll see how that develops. Again, I think that's probably a project that can get worked on over the course of the season. So he'll be better at it as we kind of progress and maybe into year 2. But year 1, when you have a guy like J.K. Dobbins, you also have like a couple backs behind him that are much better pass protectors. But a guy like J.K. Dobbins, who, to be honest, reminds me of Tony Pollard from last year, who's coming off a major injury, didn't have a great first year, but had a better one than I think people gave him credit for. And then what do you know? First full healthy year after that, he looks fucking fantastic. So like, I think J.K. Dobbins can have that type of year for the Broncos. And I agree with you. I'd rather take a flyer on him late, especially if you're talking like a redraft, not a dynasty, for the production you're going to get and the touchdown production you're probably going to get from him from this team, rather than take a flyer on RJ Harvey at this point. I just feel like maybe just like we were talking about with the Broncos as a whole, maybe 1 year away. I don't think this is the year
it's
for
forced.
Yes.
The RJ
and I
Harvey
do think
slurpage is forced.
It's forced. And I think for him specifically too, like I think the best part of his game immediately for this offense is going to be in the receiving game. So that's why another reason why I think the rush yard fade is a lot better in my eyes.
You saw Javonte Williams with a couple decent games receiving wise in this backfield. Now you actually had a real receiving back, not a forced receiving back in this backfield. I could see him thriving there. Sure.
Yeah.
Going to be huge on check downs, third downs, little screens. That could be the difference. RJ Harvey being a factor in the receiving game. But is he getting 750 yards on the ground? Come on, man. Come on.
I don't think so. This number's been ticking down too. I remember it opened at the round 799.
And they're going to run Dobbins into the fucking ground this year. If he's healthy, he's playing.
Yeah. Obviously, his injury history is a lot of what also sparks the RJ Harvey hype, because one injury and what do you know, he's going to be the lead back. I just think regardless, I don't know if this is a year 1 project for him.
We had a hype train, folks. Appreciate you guys. Those don't grow on trees on a Tuesday. You guys are goated. Some YouTube chats. Trent's 40. No, Trent's not actually 40. That was a joke.
It's 42.
That was a joke. Love you, Trent. You're not actually 40. Okay. Javier Ramirez says Sean Payton said he's going to be a top 5 QB. Bo Nix. I'm sure he's saying that, as he should. He's the coach of the team.
Yeah, so you got to talk about your guy.
Some confidence. We got Jamie in the YouTube saying he ate 3 pounds of mac and cheese last night. Oh my God, pray for him. Pray for him in the restroom in his apartment.
Mac and cheese challenge for Krabs next.
3 pounds of mac and cheese. That's a shit ton of mac and cheese, no?
A lot of mac and cheese,
That's a lot of mac and cheese. That's a couple boxes of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Jesus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hope you're okay, Jamie. That is not a task that I'd like to overcome for dinner. 3 pounds of mac? That's not a thing, right? No. Not typically. All right.
Not typically. It's a lot of pounds.
That's a lot of pounds. All right. Happy birthday, Jovan. Sure. All right. I'm excited for some college football talk here. I'll try to keep this as brief as possible, but Jovan, I think I'm buying into Hokies, my man.
It's just unbelievable.
I think I'm buying back in. Just when you thought I'd give up, I can't refuse. Here we go. Yep. Here we go. Look, Jovan, even if I wasn't a distinguished alum, honestly, if I wasn't a distinguished alum, I'd probably be, knowing how I bet and how I think about, sports in general, being a contrarian, I'd probably be gassing this team up more heading into the Big 2-5. Can you at least agree with that? Can you at least agree with that? It's a team that's 1-12 in one-score games in Brent Pry's tenure. This is a team that everybody was all in last year on. You had McAfee putting this team in the freaking playoffs on his bracket on his show. Unbelievable. People forget the amount of slurpage this team had last year. We had the Bear, who's on fucking TV making his picks. You guys know the Bear. Absolute beast. Talking about how the Hokies are going to be a sleeper to make the college football playoffs. He's taking Kyron Drones to win the Heisman last year. Jovan, a lot of hype for this team in the Big 2-4, and they certainly did not produce. They didn't produce. Jobs are on the line now in the Big 2-5. If Brent Pry doesn't improve, if this team doesn't win 7+ games, he's gone. He's gone. And he's just the next Fuente. And we're going to move on and hire another shitty coach and try it all again. When Shane Beamer is literally building a dynasty down there in South Carolina, could have had the greatest coach of VT history's son. I don't have time for that shit, but You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big year for Brent Pry. He brings in 2 new coordinators. He's not fucking around. Jovan, the amount of NFL talent we had on this team last year and did not see it come to fruition on the fields. Our offensive coordinator, respectfully, he was not a coordinator. We tried to force him into being a coordinator. I'm talking about, I think his name was Tyler Bowen. Now he's at Ohio State. Can't make it up. He's at Ohio State. He's their O-line coach. He was an O-line coach that we tried to force to be a coordinator. It didn't work. To not be able to do anything with the talent we had on that team last year with guys like Jalen Lane, who are just breaking out in camp right now, is embarrassing. But I blame the coaching more than the players. This year, they hit the portal hard, just like they did in the Big 2-4. And Jovan, I like what I'm seeing, man. I like what I'm seeing. You got Kyron Drones, who's going to still be here again, after a crazy down year, injury-riddled year for Kyron Drones. A lot of hate talk about Kyron Drones, as there should be. Was one of the most hyped-up QBs in college football in the nation in the Big 2-4. Played like shit. He deserves the hate. But I have a feeling we're going to get a pissed off Kyron Drones in the Big 2-5. He's still got a lot to prove. He's been thinking about this season last couple of months, healing up from these injuries. And I want to buy in to a veteran QB in the ACC filled with a lot of young QBs, a lot of studs. Sure, we got Kate Klubnik, but not enough Kyron Drones talk in the Big 2-5. Their O-line. Jovan, they bring in a whole new O-line. 3 of their guys are coming over from West Virginia, who always has a great line, including their coach, the offensive line coach. They're coming over from Dub B. They're going to be great. We're going to have an above-average O-line, the best O-line we've had for Kyron Drones. I'm hype about the O-line. And obviously, we lose my guy, Tootin, in the backfield. Great running back. Talked about it all last year. Top 5 running back in college football. Everybody was laughing. He was. Got drafted like that, at least. Yeah. Very talented.
Fair.
Jovan, they add a great piece in Terrion Stewart from Bowling Green, who everybody's already talking about on the feed. He's going to be the next NFL stud RB. I'm not even fucking kidding. Check Twitter. People are acting like this guy's the next second coming of Jesus Christ himself in the Hokies backfield. Play with them in college football 26. The guy's the next Marshawn Lynch.
He is.
Terrion Stewart. Remember the name. We got 2 stud receivers in Donovan Green and Aiton Green. One young guy, one older guy. Not brothers. 2 beasts, though. People are acting like this Donovan Green guy is going to make a difference coming over from Wake Forest. I'm bought in. I'm bought in on this kid. We got Benji Gosnell, a stud tight end. Even a backup tight end, Harrison St. Germain, is pretty fucking good. At least he is in college football 26. He's only a junior as well. I'm bought in to this Hokies offense, and I think the defense takes a big step up. We got this kid, James DeJoncum, on our D-line, who was going through some legal issues this offseason. I didn't know if he's going to be able to play. Doesn't sound like the best stand-up guy, I'll be honest. But you know what? Cleared, good to go. NFL D-lineman. Just like Pal Ryland last year, we got another one this year in James DeJoncum. Remember the name. He's a fucking stud. We have the best kicker in college football this year, who nobody talks about besides me. People act like I'm fucking in a cave yelling. I can hear the echoes. I'm the only one in here talking about Dr. Love. Best kicker in college football. NFL kicker. All the pieces are there, Jovan. They're all here. And like Brent Price said, this is what he pictured. This is what he envisioned when he came to Blacksburg. And I'm giving him one more fucking chance. 1-12 in 1-score games in his tenure as a head coach. Either he changes, he grows up, he adapts, he fixes those issues. And by the way, we are so due for a lucky season. We haven't had one since I was a freshman in college. Since Gerard Evans was the QB, since we beat West Virginia at FedEx Field, since I was a freshman. Haven't had any luck. Have not had one ball bounce our way. Not many more teams due for a lucky season than us. I think it could be the perfect storm in a shitty ACC. Our schedule's easy as shit. You couldn't script a better bounce back season for the Hokies. And I'm giving Brent Pry one more chance.
What?
One more chance.
What?
One. That's all I can do.
It.
That's all I can do.
Has to be it.
The schedule lines up perfectly, Jovan. Give me 2 more minutes here. The schedule lines up perfectly. A trip to Atlanta against South Carolina. Everybody's most hyped. This is like the Hokies from last year. South Carolina.
They literally,
wrong?
that's the ideal comp. That's exactly what they are. They are this year's VT.
You got the QB, you got the new coach, you got a good defense, a program that used to be good that's, coming back. They're trying to figure it out, right? I'm just not fucking seeing it. Have people actually watched Lenore Sellers play QB? Or you just see the highlights and you just play with them in college football 26 and run around like he's Lamar Jackson? I get it. He's got talent. But people are overhyping this kid a hair. They are. They are. Coaches poll preseason ranked 13 for the Gamecocks. What are they seeing? I'm not seeing it. I think they could
He's not that
potentially
good.
win that game outright. Will they? Probably no. But I think we at least cover. Then we got a rematch against Vanderbilt at home. You can't tell me we're losing that game. I'm sorry. I don't have time for it.
No.
We win that game. That game's personal. We're going to be getting our anger out in that game after the entire fucking alumni went down there last year to Nashville in the 100-degree heat and got spanked by Vanderbilt. That's a revenge game if I've ever heard one. We're not losing that game. That's a win. There's one. We play ODU. And by the way, thankfully, we canceled a bunch of these ODU games coming up in future years because we're going to play an actual real team. But this year, we're playing them at home, and we're going to spank them. We're going to spank the Monarchs. That's 2 wins. We play Wofford. Not going to waste my time. That's 3 wins.
Right.
3-1. We play at NC State. Very comparable team to the Hokies. Solid QB. You know, nobody's really high on the rest of the squads. We win that game on the road. That's 4 wins. Wake Forest at home. Wake Forest is terrible. Their coach quit on the program. They got a lot of work to do. That's 5 wins. Georgia Tech on the roads. We got lucky and somehow beat them last year when they didn't have their QB. I'm man enough to say that's probably a loss. 5-2. We play Cal at home. Ron Rivera is running the show. We're winning that game. What more has to be said, Jovan? Ron Rivera is in charge out there.
That's
They
exactly
came together
why you
and
know
they
they're
said,
going to
let's
beat.
bring in Ron.
Ron Rivera is going to beat VT, and you're going to be
No,
so
he is
pissed.
not. No, he is not. Ron
Gonna be so
Rivera
pissed.
belongs in a fucking home at this point, Jovan. I'll say it. He does not belong in a GM chair running a school. How many wins is that? 6? We play Louisville at home at least. That's going to be a high-scoring game. That reminds me of the Miami game from last year. Could go either way. We play at Florida State. That game could go either way. We played Miami at home. We're winning at least one of those games. That's 7 wins. At least one of those games. Maybe 2. A couple of them are at home. 2 of the 3. Tough place to play in Blacksburg. And then we finish off the season with UVA. That's a guaranteed win. Why do they even play the game?
Yeah.
Why do they still play that game? Kids could get hurt. Guaranteed win. Lost once against UVA in the last 25 years. Not even kidding. Actually lost once out of 25 years. Guaranteed win. Jovan, that's 8 wins for the Hokies this year. You get them at over 6.5 wins at plus chicken. What am I missing? What am I missing?
Maybe the fact that Kyron Jones is bad. That could be it.
I don't think he's bad. I think he was hurt.
Dude.
I don't think he's bad.
How much has he been hurt then? Because he's been moose
He
for
was hurt
years.
No, he was not moose
Yes.
for years.
Yes.
They went on a legacy run 2 years ago, a legacy run where they won 5 of 6 games to close out the year, and they destroyed Tulane in a bowl game. He was him. And then last year, he was battling through injuries. He couldn't run. All he could do was sit in the pocket, and they exposed him. They did. They exposed him. But this year, he'll have his legs back. He'll have a healthy shoulder. He'll be running over people. He's Jalen Hurts, but in college football form, and that's coming from me. I'm buying back in. And Jovan leads after the Jalen Hurts count. I bet.
Jalen Hurts, Krabs.
He's Jalen Hurts. Yep.
Jalen Hurts.
He's Jalen Hurts. Yep.
It's just
Buy into the Hokies.
Can
I'm
Kyron
telling you,
Jones squat 1,000 pounds?
More.
More.
I've heard 2.
More.
I've heard 2,000. A metric ton.
Jalen Hurts.
You were 1 year early. I'm telling you, Jovan, I can feel it in my sack.
I can respect 7 wins. Jalen Hurts, though.
Again, best bet for this team. We're taking the over 6.5 wins. We're not asking for the world. They win 6 every year. I know we don't talk about that enough because it's usually just me bitching about how this team could be better. They actually win 6 games every year. They're bowl game kings. They missed a bowl game once in the last 40 years. That's not even a joke. Google it.
Yeah.
Google it. They had the longest streak of bowl games in a row. It was the most frustrating thing ever because it's like they're the most mid-team every year. They settle for 6. It's a quote. They settle for 6. Not this year. Brent probably can't afford it. Food for the family is on the line. Food on tape is on the line in Blacksburg this year. That's a team I want my coins on.
Food on tape.
The prize aren't eaten unless you win 7 games this year. Straight up, I'll say it.
Dude.
They're not eating. Scraps. That's all they're going to be able to afford. Scraps.
It is just Yeah, his family might be starving like Manny.
Everybody thinks it's just a biased take. You guys must not watch enough of this show.
I do think
I've been
it's a
I've been
decent
ragging on this team
take.
for years.
You lost me on some of the comps, but you do have me on the 6.5.
I've been so anti-Pry and anti-VT football for years. For years.
That is just.
I finally buy back in last year. I get embarrassed. I learned my lesson. The things I said about this school could get my diploma taken away over the last 365 days up until this week. I'm finally buying back in. I'm giving him one more chance. Jovan, the things I've said about Brent Pry and this Hokies team on Twitter, on this show over the last year could get me a revoked diploma from Pamplin. Straight up. It's been bad. I'll hold myself accountable. I know what I did. I'm giving them one more chance. I'm buying in. Not biased. A legitimate good take. Jobs are online.
Job online.
Jobs are online. Food is on table for the little prize. Food's on table.
We need that.
Jovan,
we absolutely need that.
give me a team you're high on in the Big 2-5, an honorable mention. Let's talk about it.
I wouldn't say high on. Exactly. But Illinois has been getting a lot of slurp. And part of it's because of, I guess, their schedule and the fact that, again, like we've talked about this with a lot of teams, like so far this year, like they don't feel like the top echelon of teams, but all these teams that have quarterbacks coming back by default are getting slurped because there's a lot of turnover everywhere else in college football this year, especially with some of the top teams. And for the Illinois conversation, with a lot of these teams that are kind of in that mid-tier range of like could make the playoff, maybe you don't, but you have Luke Altmaier coming back, which is the big plus, and a really good defense that overperformed at a lot of times last year, and so did the offense for that matter. But they're getting slurped because they have Altmaier coming back, and their schedule happens to avoid a lot of the big dogs in the Big Ten so far. But I do think it's a little tougher than people have to give them credit for. The offense, I kind of think, might be a little bit of an issue for Illinois, which they had a great year last year and put up points in probably a lot of spots that you didn't expect them to. But people forget they're probably 3 plays away. They finished 9-3 in the regular season, probably 3 plays away from being a 6-win team. So like they had the OT game, crazy OT game against Nebraska where they ended up winning, crazy one against Purdue where they ended up winning in overtime as well, 2 overtime games, and you had a 1-score game against Kansas where they won at home to start the year when Kansas was also nuck. They had a 1-score game at Rutgers that they ended up winning with a lot of turnover luck in that one. So there's a lot that went right for Illinois. So like this going into this year when they're getting slurped, I'm selling them in a similar way. It's like we were talking about the Broncos, except with a little more conviction because the offense I realistically don't think is that good. I've never been a Luke Altmaier guy, and sure, at this point he's like super experienced, which you can't say the same for a lot of the quarterbacks in the Big Ten or anywhere else this season. But the offense around him is not great. Like you had 2 damn good weapons, probably the best wide receiver tandem Illinois has had in years with Pat Bryant and Zachary Franklin gone. And like now they added Hudson Clement, who's supposed to be the guy now, and a wide receiver core around him that is basically nothing. So like the weapons are going to be diminished incredibly. Like the only real returning production you have back is from tight end Tanner Arkin. And then the running back room is just mid, like it always is for Illinois, or always seems to be. So that offense, after everything seemed to go right last year, I'm selling big time, even though the defense has some pieces coming back, and you definitely have a handful of NFL guys in that defense, which they returned a couple of their linebackers, and the secondary is going to be good. We know this, but I really don't like this Illinois team, and I understand the slurp because I know where it's coming from because of the schedule and the fact that Altmaier is coming back, and people think that he's good after what happened last year. But I really don't understand from a football sense where it's coming from. So for this point, I'm taking their wins, taking their under wins, which you either can get I don't want a super juicy 8.5, which you get some places, but the 7.5 is plus chick, which is where you find yourself right on that divide. Their schedule like doesn't look tough, I guess, on paper, but again, like you start yourself after the bye game with Western Illinois, going on the road at Duke, which is it's not, I can't even say like sneaky tough game, but Duke's going to be much better, much improved. I'm not a huge like ceiling Duke guy with Darian Mensah because I haven't really always been a Mensah fan, but playing at Duke is tough. I don't think they're going to win that game. You still got to go on road trips to Indiana, to Washington cross country, which is a really tough one to make. Again, I always talk about, especially in the Big Ten, East Coast teams going west for the first time and vice versa. Love fading that, and I would love to be in that situation. And then they also have to go to Wisconsin. It's like all of their road trips this year, minus Purdue, which one of those overtimes games last year was against Purdue that they won 50-49. So God knows what that could be. That was also at Illinois. The road trips are Purdue, Duke, Indiana, Washington, Wisconsin. I think there is certainly a world they win 0 road games. And the Purdue one is tricky, obviously, because Purdue is fucking terrible, but it's only up from last year, and they took them wire to wire at Champaign or in Champaign. So realistically, they're probably beating Purdue, but I think there's a world that exists where they don't win a single road game, at least outside of the Purdue game. So those are all damn tough trips, and you still got to play Ohio State at home. You still got to play Rutgers, which Rutgers, Illinois, Wisconsin, they're all that group of Big Ten teams where you flip a coin a lot of these games where touchdown favorites or whatever it is, any team can win any of those games, regardless of where the games are. Still got to play a super tough Maryland team at home. Still got to host Lincoln Riley the week after the Indiana game. I think this is a 7-win team, to be honest with you. And after we were talking about this with teams like Arizona State, like going last year, which I'm sure we'll talk about in the next couple of days. If you play all these one-score games and everything goes right for a team that I realistically don't think is all that good or all that much improved going into the next year, I love fading that coming into this season, especially when the hype train, I think, is getting a little bit out of control for a team like Illinois.
Yeah. Heard a lot of talk about the Fighting Illini. I need to see it. I'm not liking their depth chart. I'm not liking their pieces. I'm with you on their under wins. I'd probably rather lay the juice in the under 8.5, but you're pretty confident. You've been talking about fading this team the last couple of weeks. If you're that confident, lean into it. Take them a plus check.
Yeah. I really don't. I try not to lay too much on win totals too.
Futures.
Yeah. I'd rather take plus check, especially for them, because like if the floor falls out and they don't have the benefit of every single lucky bounce and every single lucky play going their way like they did last year, it's a 6-7 win team at the best, especially with those weapons on that offense. Yeah, Bielema is just
big boy.
Yeah, just also like at this point in his career, just not a great coach. Not a great coach.
Kind of on the hot seat.
He's not on the hot seat, I would say, after last year, but he didn't coach them to 9 or counting the bowl game 10 wins last year. Like that didn't happen. That was just a product of. I mean, he recruited well, I guess. Like he had a great offense, a lot of pieces around him. The defense was fine, but they just had a lot of magic last year. It wasn't like any adjustments they made.
We got a bunch of subbies coming in here. Ramble Now boys getting involved. We got Capitals coming in hot. Let's fucking go, Krabs. Let's link back on Center Street in the fall. Have still not been back to Blacksburg, and I will not go back until that team does something. Foot is down. I want to go back so bad, can't.
Maybe that's why they haven't done something, Krabs.
Maybe. Went to a lot of games in that stadium, though, where we got our dicks kicked in. A lot of games.
Yeah.
A lot of games. Dragon Slayer getting involved, resubbing as well. W's. Chaco says Labster Mac review. If the Hokies don't win 7 games, that's not going to be good enough. A lot of hate in the chat by that Hokies take. My goodness, an insurmountable amount of hate.
Crap, people just love getting you shit for the Hokies, man.
Insurmountable.
There has to be something if they don't get 7.
If the Hokies don't win 7 games, I will do the 999 challenge again.
Wow.
Is that good enough for you?
That's it. That's it right there.
Does that show that I mean business? Does that show that I'm not fucking around, just back in my school like everybody else does and just get a simple man's take? Guys, I hate this team's guts. I've been letting Brent Pry hear it. I'd be shocked if I'm not blocked on Twitter by his PR team by now. I'm not the biased one. I'm telling you what I see. And I'm seeing the Hokies winning 7+ games this year. We're not asking for the fucking world. Easy cupcake schedule, jobs online, food for the fam on tape. Hokies win 7. If they don't, I'll do the 999 challenge.
Love the feed the Pry family narrative.
Go ahead and put that shit, dude. Put that up on the feed. Unbelievable. You guys just think I'm back in my Hokies. I've given this team more hate than anyone else on earth combined. One more chance for Kyron Drones, for Brent Pry, and for Dr. Love. That's all I got.
Way you loop Dr. Love into that.
That's all I got. He deserves more respect around these parts. I'll say it. I'll say it.
Yeah, he might be. He's not better than any of the fucking kickers I was facing last night. That's for damn sure. Got prime Janikowski, prime Justin Tucker, pre-massage chairs on every single college football team. Let's
move on. On Justin Tucker's problems, move on.
Let's talk some baseball. You in?
Yep.
Same Hokie speech every year. It's not, Joshua. Open your ears. It's not the same Hokie speech every year. You're making shit up. It's not. You are wrong. It's not the same shit every year. Last year, I gassed him up. Sure. I ate my fucking words. They stunk it up. I let him hear it for a whole year. Now I'm buying back in one more time. It's not the same story every year. Watch the fucking show. It's not.
We segue right from the Hokies to the Nats.
Nats first five ML.
It's just
the plays hit. When I take the Nats this year, the plays hit. What do you want me to do? You want me to give out losers? And I got your team on here as well. You should be happy.
Yeah,
Fuck.
got it.
Nats first five. When I give out the Nats this year, they win. Good luck fading this one today, chat. My goodness. You get the Nats as a favorite today. The Nats shouldn't be a favorite against anybody. Well, luckily they're facing Severino, who's certainly hittable. Although he's been great on the road this season so far. Jovan, some of his squares make it seem like he's about to get mucked up today. And a guy who relies a lot on his strikeout game. Nats don't strike out. There's one thing they do. Let's put the ball in play. That might help them out today as well. And Mackenzie Gore squares on Prize Picks. My goodness. Makes it look like he's going to throw a complete game shutout today, Jovan. Have you looked at those squares?
Yeah, I've seen them.
It's crazy.
Seen them.
It's crazy. His strikeouts is up at 7. It's moving up after a bunch of games of him not cashing, 4 of his last 5. You kidding me? Why is Gore up for 7 Ks? It makes sense if he was up for 7 Ks in the middle of his prime, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago when he was getting 10 Ks a game. Have you watched him pitch of late, Jovan? I know he's facing
pretty bad.
He's looked bad. His strikeout stuff isn't there. He's walking guys, and he did the same thing last year too. Well, I simply can't resist today. And look, my Nats takes have hit more often than they've lost this season, so I trust my read here, boys. And if I was you, I'd trust it as well. Nats first 5 on the ML. Some serious push potential here, certainly. I like the first 5 under as well. I don't think it's going to be a ton of runs here from the Nats, but a team after a rest day, not a lot of teams needed a rest day more than the Nats, who have lost a bunch of games in a row. Luckily, the A's are coming into town, and Severino, who's not a great matchup for Severino, big strikeout guy, not today. Team that likes putting the ball in play. James Wood, his first off day in a while. He needs to hit the fucking reset button. CJ Abrams is always going to do job. I respect him. I trust him. Just got to judge his back from the IL notif as well, by the way.
Okay.
Mackenzie Gore has his first good start in a month. Severino, we get to him a little bit, at least enough. In the first 5 here, Nats win through 5 innings. They don't have to win the whole fucking game. No need to trust their bullpen. Let's keep them out of it. My first 5 reads for the Nats this year have been printing coins. Knock on wood. I got another one for you guys again here. Nats first 5 ML.
Sure. I'm certainly in. Bullshit aside. Has to be. Got to ride the Krabs F5 run, especially when the Nats are involved.
We'll come back to your Rays here. I'm sure you'll have some thoughts there.
Certainly. Great wager on the first 500 yesterday, Krabs, in the Dodgers game. W Squad ride.
Thank you.
I think we get runs today, and probably more on the square side of the take. Much different pitching matchup, obviously, and realistically, there's probably not much I can say that you won't figure out yourself. But the matchup is Michaelis versus Emmett Sheehan, and I think Emmett Sheehan's getting a little more of a leash now because I think he needs to be in the rotation for more innings. But in all likelihood, like best case scenario, I think he goes 5 if he really, really pitches well, which I don't think he's going to today. Partially because he throws so many fastballs, and for a lineup that's slumping, and the only thing they're seeming to hit well right now is fastballs. That seems like a recipe for disaster for a pitcher who's also coming off of a damn good start, too, I guess, kind of damn good starts after he got shelled. But now I think he's getting rocked in this one. And you're going to see a lot of innings from the Dodgers bullpen that's starting to get healthier, but still hasn't been all that great in spots where they've been forced to eat like a large chunk of innings in the back half of a game. So I don't know who exactly we're going to see. Maybe if you need multiple innings, you go like Wroblewski. I think he's going to be available today for multiple innings if they need him. But other than that, like longer relief inning or longer relief options haven't been very good. I don't know if you're going to get Bonda today, unfortunately, because he's fucking terrible and pitched yesterday. But all the rest of the guys, I think, are open season. So I do think Sheehan gets touched early. Probably don't need to say much about Michaelis against the Dodgers because I think Michaelis against the Dodgers is probably going to go how everybody thinks. But I think we're getting a show tonight in that game. Probably not from Shohei, though, because I think Trent's going to nuke him. So pencil in Freddie.
Wow. Okay. God, I faded Shohei TBs last night. That shit hit, but I paired it with cake. Shohei not seeing it great. And we had one base knock yesterday. Not seeing it great. Certainly fadeable right now. You're going to need the rest of the Dodgers lineup. Certainly capable to carry this over. Yeah. Luckily, they have plenty of guys. Okay? Yeah, we'll talk about Matt Wallner, and this Twins play here in a moment. By the way, Matt Wallner on fire.
Scorching.
Feeling a nuke tonight. Scorching hot. Feeling a nuke tonight for Matt Wallner. Feeling a nuke tonight. All right, let's move. Let's groove. Come back to my place here. Said Nats was a wildcard team before the season, but wants us to believe VT shit isn't biased. Jacob Murray, not many more miserable people than you in the chat. I'll say it. Just miserable day in, day out. It's impressive. It's impressive. Can we clap it up real quick for Jacob Murray? That's actually impressive. Holy smokes. This guy comes in here every day and has something to bitch about. Sad. Honestly, sad. Hope he's okay. And he'll be getting a timeout here for a minute. There we go. See ya. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. Not in my house. Dude bitches every single day. It's honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like impressed. I'm not even mad about it. It's like, wow. He's coming up with new shit. It's hard to come up with new material this far in. 6 months, every day he's bitching. I feel bad for him, honestly. Sheesh. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. Rays first 5 ML. I'm feeling the Rays today, Jovan. I hope you're with me. I know they're also kind of dead right now, but look, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, and this is baseball. The worst teams win still 35, 40% of the time. So Rays have lost 4 of their last 5. It's not looking great. Angels have won 2 in a row. People are starting to buy back into them. They've played decent of late. Probably not a playoff team still, but just a weird team. A team that I like fading at times. Soriano, a pitcher I certainly like fading at times. When Prize Pick says it's okay, when his squares aren't looking like he's going to be DeGrom. And today, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a Soriano fade here. And I certainly want to back Pepe, like some of his squares up there. We'll talk about them in a moment. But the Rays, after getting embarrassed last night in a 5-1 loss, they've gotten embarrassed in 4 of their last 5 games. They played like shit. Their offense is dead. Well, luckily for them, I think Pepe like carries. I think he has a shutout, at least through 5. Maybe it gets weird in the 6th if he's still in there. But I think he absolutely shoves early on here, Jovan. Keeps the Rays in it. And the Angels have not seen scoring or putting up a bunch of runs, looking at some of their squares offensively on Prize Picks. And I can see the Rays getting a Soriano. I can see them getting their lick back after last night getting embarrassed first game of the series. I think the Rays get out to a hot start. Maybe they don't hold it. Their bullpen sketches me out at this point, but I'll isolate. I'll take the first 5. Certainly some push potential here, but Pepiot and that crazy earned run square that we're going to talk about here in a moment, and Soriano certainly looks fadeable. Certainly looks fadeable today. I want to get involved. Rays first 5 ML.
Yeah, I could be so in on that. Never going full game with the way their bullpen is right now, but first 5 I could so be in on.
Sure. Get in, get out. No need to keep those bullpens involved.
Certainly.
All right. Let's talk about Matt Wallner and the Twins. You're taking their team total. You're seeing some runs. Sure we can.
Seeing some runs from the Twins. Chris Paddock in his first revenge start against his old team. I want to fade the fuck out of him. And the offense, I guess, for the Twins was deceptively bad yesterday because they had 3 solo shots, but the ABs looked a little tougher. Didn't end up meaning anything, obviously, in the course of the game because the Tigers splooged a little bit. But I think today Chris Paddock's going to get knocked, partially because he had a great first start, fantastic first start with the Tigers, and I'm interested to see what they do to, I guess, tweak what they want from him arsenal-wise, but they did, I guess, make his arsenal. And again, like first start, we'll see how much it lasts, but it looked a little more predictable and simple. A lot of fastballs. The off speed didn't look great, which I kind of expected over the course of the next couple starts. So that seems like a problem to me for teams that are kind of built like the Twins, where you're not going to get a boatload of like offense with ducks in the pond. Like you're going to have to use your power, and that's going to be what gets you out of a lot of these situations. Like you're probably going to have to use a good bit of extra base hit ISO power, which that's exactly what I think the Twins are going to do today. This screams to me one of those situations where like Chris Paddock, sneakily, as good as he's been for a lot of starts this season, he's like bottom quarter of the league in hard hit rate, doesn't keep the ball in the ground too. He's in the same like role with a pretty high fly ball rate. That's a problem for Wallner. That's a problem for King Julian, who's back. That's a problem for Royce Bonds. Like this screams of a start to me for Paddock, where he's a little inefficient, and then you see one or two big bombs kind of set off his start, and the Twins are probably in the driver's seat early with their offense. Do I trust Zebby? No, not exactly. Everything kind of lines up, I guess, for him to have a pretty good start. All of his lines look weird, like he's actually going to shove, but I'm not willing to go to the grave with that in this one, even off of a bad start. I kind of just want to stick it to the Twins and stick it to Paddock, I guess, with them scoring 4.
All this Matt Wallner love and talk, as there should be. He's heating up. He's our guy. Haven't heard a lot of King Julian love in the Big Two.
That's because
he's still up and moving.
Just came back. Because I mean, they kind of needed him too. He's been hitting the ball hard, so he's up for a square, I guess, today too. He's been a little unlucky since he came back, but he's kind of exactly the guy you want.
I'm in. Great sell job. Let's buy low on this Twins lineup. Hope Matt Wallner stays hot, knock on woods. Might even see a King Julian appearance in the Big 2-5 tonight. Could be the difference.
Yeah.
I'm in. All right. We'll come back to that guards play. Nasty. Love it. A little bit. Love it. All right. Swing it around, Goodsy. Guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What have I talked about all season? What have I been preaching from the mountaintops like I'm Moses himself all season? If there's one thing you fucking learned from me up here yapping about talking baseball and betting on it this season, what has it been? Jovan? What have I been yapping about the most? Well, certainly. Yes, but something in baseball you just don't do. It just doesn't work in baseball.
Still fade streaks.
Don't fade streaks. Your life is better when you're not fading streaks. Look, you might get lucky. You might catch the falling knife. Still, 2 times out of 10, you can fade a streak and you can make coins. But I'm telling you, dude, I wish it wasn't the case. But fading streaks in baseball simply doesn't work. You can pick your spots. You can take your first 5s. But it just doesn't fucking work. And I wish it did, Jovan. If it did, I'd be a lot richer. Plain and simple. Okay? Because you know I like to bet nasty. But it just doesn't work more often than it loses. Okay? Today, I'm leaning into that angle here, and I'm fading the Yankees. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like it especially because they should have won last night, and they didn't in hilarious fashion. Honestly, can we just talk about that for a hair? I mean, come on, bro. That walk-off perfectly encapsulates the Yankees the last 2 weeks.
Josh Young, too, who is horrific.
They've already sent down Bird, one of the guys they gave up more prospects for Bird. They gave up more for him than they gave up for Bednar. And they've already sent him down to the minors after 2 innings, 6 earned runs. What a joke. Who is in charge up there? Who is in charge? I don't think they're looking at shit. I think they're just picking the biggest name guys on the market. It reminds me of Dan Schneider's Redskins back in the day. I'll tell you right now, by experience, doesn't work. You can't just go out there and take the biggest name veteran in the market in free agency before the deadline and bring him over to your team and expect success. If it worked, the Yankees would have won shit in the last 16 years. If it worked, the Redskins would have won shit in my lifetime. They didn't. It doesn't fucking work. Actually try and be blue collar and be like the Rays, and you have a fucking chance. Work, watch tape, watch film. They don't. And the guys they brought in suck, especially in high leverage spots. Wouldn't be surprised tonight in a very important game when Judge returns, Jovan, when the lights are bright after getting embarrassed and losing their 4th game in a row last night. And they've lost like 8 of 10. They're playing terribly. They've lost 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Lights are extra bright tonight. This is a big one, especially when Captain America, their savior, the MVP, returns to the lineup. Surely he plays well in his first game back, seeing live pitching in 10 days. Surely that goes well. Surely that's gone well for him in the past. Newsflash, it hasn't. It takes the big boy a couple games under his belt to get going again, more often than not. So I'm not seeing it with the Yankees tonight. You don't see the Yankees at plus chicken tonight. And again, care more about the opener in this one than I do about where the line's at right now. Sure, they're still plus money. They're still plus 110, but open up plus 125. You don't see that very often. I know they're facing Eovaldi. It's an uphill battle for the Yankees today. And Will Warren, by the way, stinks. He stinks. I'm so out on this guy. Talk about not passing the eye test, for me at least. Will Warren, not good. Not a good pitcher. Looking at his squares today, I think he gets roughed up again. And Eovaldi's a guy you just can't fade at all. You can't. You back Eovaldi or you stay off. The guy is unfadeable. He's unfadeable. Knock on wood. He's unfadeable. So the Yankees are in an absolute downward spiral right now. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than this. You know why I know that? Because my buddies are silent as a fucking church mouse in the group chats. People on the feed are actually climbing aboard the Yankee hate wagon. It's crazy to see. Because even a baby can notice it right now, how bad this team is playing. Besides Giancarlo Stanton, this team doesn't have one positive thing going for them right now. Their bullpen's terrible. Their lineup's terrible. Honestly, the one positive from Aaron Judge coming out of this, last 10-game IL stint is that it shows that, he might be the MVP. Because the rest of that team without him is dog shit. Dog shit. He might be the most important part to a lineup in baseball. Because they can't do shit without him. Cody Bellinger can only do so much. Trent Grisham's one home run a week and a half. Every week and a half can only, carry the team so far. So out on this team. Keep fading them until they turn it around. And in Judge's first game back at plus chicken against Eovaldi, good fucking luck. They're going to need it. Fade them.
Love it. Fade the Yanks.
Let's make some money off this rat shit Yankees team.
Sure.
Let's
also fade the other New York team. Talk about
please.
I guess not fading streaks. The Guardians have been starting to get hot, and the Mets all of a sudden cannot hit lefties to save their lives. And the last really since July 1st, they are the 5th worst team in baseball against left-handed pitching. You know who's the 6th with just slightly better numbers, Krabs?
Who?
The Washington Nationals. They have been that bad against left-handed pitching as of late. And truthfully, it hasn't even been world beater lefties that they're facing outside of Robbie Ray. I think they faced twice in a week just a little bit ago. But other than that, these are average arms they're facing. Now, I am noted not a very big Logan Allen fan, but I think he can do well in this spot, especially because I think he's going to challenge them in the zone. And all of the lefties that have been doing that lately have been finding plenty of success. So, I will pay to find out if they can show up against a lefty, especially in New York, in the start for Logan Allen. I think he's going to pitch somewhat well. And on the other side, Clay Holmes is starting to get pretty close to that point where I think he's, depending on where they end up being, I guess, with the other pitching staff or the rest of the pitching staff, he's probably going to move to the bullpen or move to a shorter role. They've already started limiting his innings because he's a converted reliever, as we've seen plenty of teams do towards the end of the season. They're starting to watch his pitch count, watch his workload. They've already shortened his starts quite a bit, but he's also it's part because he really hasn't had it as of late,
terrible.
especially controlling and commanding the strike zone. So against a guards team, which I know they're not the flashiest team on paper. They're not like the Guardians team of last year where they're super their K numbers are a little bit higher. They don't command the zone as well as the lineup, but they still do it pretty well. And going through the top of that lineup, especially when it's at semi-full strength as it is now, still really tough for a pitcher who's had his trouble commanding the strike zone, especially lately. That reeks of a problem to me. I think Clay Holmes is going to have plenty of base runners on early, cut his start super, super short, and then that bullpen, which is damn good, is going to be a little overexposed tonight in a pretty bad spot, which the Guardians do. I mean, they used a lot of arms yesterday, which is the big concern to close out the game, but I really don't think it's going to matter tonight because I think the Mets are going to be in equally of a tough spot bullpen-wise after Clay Holmes has a couple of walks, to start the game, and he's at fucking 80 pitches by the 3rd inning and something like that. I think they're going to make his life really, really tough tonight and win this game.
Love it. Yeah, Clay Holmes, talk about not passing the eye test right now, unfortunately. The experiment looked great in the first half. It looks great until you get all those miles on your arm. The guy's not used to pitching this much. His arm feels like a wet pool noodle right now, and it's showing. Right? We're getting towards the end of the season here. The converted reliever is starting to show that he's human. He's only had more than 20 fantasy points in one of his last 5 starts. It really hasn't been close either. He's been bad in those other 4 starts. Wouldn't be shocked if we see the same thing again tonight. I just don't think he has it. If they were smart, they put him on the IL here soon, let him recover, even if it's a fake, ghost injury, and let the guy rest. Looks like a shell of himself compared to the beginning of the season. This is where you square up and use your baseball brain. Fade Clay Holmes and back a quail shit team in the Guardians, who probably should be getting higher number on that plus chicken on the ML. The fact that they're not, good sign.
Yeah.
Good sign.
I mean, I usually definitely fade Logan Allen for that same reason a lot. He just does not get very often, regardless of how he's pitching, get like any line respect. And it feels like he kind of is today. This feels like line-wise, maybe somewhat Pirates reminiscent from yesterday. So hopefully it ends the same way.
Can we get the Trent birthday nuke?
He announced his birthday nuke.
Gore,
Has it?
Gore K's, Crochet K's, Vladdy, and Otani.
That's just
Love it.
What'd you think?
that is
I love it.
just
You know why I love it?
his Gore's in it.
Because Mackenzie Gore is going nuclear today. Nuclear. Jovan, Mackenzie Gore, when the lights are bright on Apple TV or a primetime game or facing his former team, the Padres, maybe facing a team where people care, right? In a town where people care on the roads, how does he typically pitch?
I mean, he's a lot better when it doesn't matter.
A lot better against shitty opponents. A lot better generally at home. A lot better in games that don't mean dick. Perfectly describes the game tonight. At home and that's
Yeah,
it really does. It really does. Mackenzie Gore against the Athletics, my God.
But
10K watch, knock on wood.
I feel like Trent is like 0 for 56 on Mackenzie Gore wagers.
He has never hit a Mackenzie Gore square. But you know what? Tonight, on his birthday, that changes. I don't know if you've noticed, Trent's walking a little differently these days. Maybe it's his age. He's walking differently. He's talking differently. He seems a little locked in this week to me. A little ahead of schedule. He typically doesn't get locked in until week 1 of the NFL season. He's here. He's dialed. Maybe he's seeing something for Mr. Mackenzie Gore. Maybe he's onto something here.
He did call the capital of Brazil last night Chile. So I don't know how.
Well,
I don't know how dialed he is.
Take back everything I said.
Yep. Really, really bad.
Take back everything I said, folks. Shit. No, I think he's onto something here. I really do. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. Trent, I think you're onto something here. Mackenzie Gore, sure. You probably could just take his case. But I think he goes out there and pitches a fucking shutout today. I'll get a little cute. I'll take his more than fantasy score when I typically recommend taking Mackenzie Gore strikeouts because you don't want to worry about the longevity of his starts. It's been a while since he's had a long start. I'm getting Kikuchi vibes here a little bit. I think we get a rare Mackenzie Gore quality start that we have not seen in a minute. I was right about Kikuchi last night. Play got a ton of hate. I think I'm going to be right about Mackenzie Gore again today. I really do.
Sure.
I think he absolutely shoves. The Ks will be there. The earned runs will be down. And I think for the first time in a while, and not typically his strength, I think he goes 6 strong. I do. I think he goes 6 strong. But if there's any bullshit late, let's say he gets pulled in the 6th, bullpen will be, pretty fresh, pretty rested after a rest day, right? Although they don't really have a lot of guys to be rushing to go to, besides Mackenzie Gore, in my opinion. Even if they do take him out in the 6th, he's going to have 8 Ks by then. We've seen this movie before with Mackenzie. And he'll still cash his fantasy score because he's not giving up more than maybe 1 solo shot, maybe 1 mistake. That's all I'm seeing tonight for Mackenzie. Love what I'm seeing up on Prize Picks. Guys, it looks like he's going to be prime Jacob deGrom tonight. If you go look at his Prize Pick squares, go peep them. They are crazy. Luckily for him, meaningless game tonight and meaningless games means a Mackenzie Gore gem. That's exactly what that means. Expect a gem again tonight from him. And then your guy, Pepioi. I know the chart is wrong. It says he gave up 14 earned runs in his last start. It wasn't 14, it was 7. Which even still, if it said that on the chart, it would be fucking terrible. I am a sucker for taking these less than earned run squares. Number one, when the chart's green as hell. Just taking less than on those, knock on wood, has been great so far this entire season. Thank fuck. Needed that bad. But especially when he's coming off just a generationally bad start, a bad outing, and he is. Pepioid's coming off of getting absolutely shelled in his last outing. I think he makes up for that today. In a game that I think they win, in a game where I think they silence the Angels' bats. I think Pepe goes out there and absolutely shoves. Give me his less than 2.5 earned runs allowed. Did I mention also juice to the under on the books? And with how he's been pitching of late, probably shouldn't be, especially on the road.
Pepe up.
Sure.
Goat.
He's your guy. Are you in?
Very in. Of course I'm in.
Okay. What do you got over there?
Take you to my twin. Wanted to take a righty against Paddock. He is slightly worse against righties, but guy who's sneakily, I guess, been hitting a little better as of late than the results would show is Royce Lewis, especially when he's been putting the ball in play. Obviously, he's had his strikeout issues here and there. He'll always have that, but been putting the ball in play pretty hard. And thing that with Paddock, I guess he keeps the ball in the air. He gives up a lot of hard contact. So for guys, which this applies to a lot of the lineup, but for guys that consistently put the ball in play hard, when he puts the ball in play, I want to take one of these guys. So you can make the argument again for Wallner, for Julian, for a lot of these guys. I want Royce Lewis because I want a righty, especially because the off-speed command for Paddock against those righties is a lot of the reason why his numbers are slightly worse. It hasn't been great. So I can totally see, which for Royce Lewis, Paddock's mainly fastball changeup against righties for the most part. Maybe that changes with the Tigers a little bit, but Royce Lewis has been killing changeup, splitter, all of that goes straight down. I could so see Paddock absolutely hanging a changeup and Royce Lewis sending it to Mars, which that would be goated. So I'm going with him. He's my twin. And then Ryan Nelson. Padres were just edging all night last night and didn't end up coming through. Bases were filled with traffic for a lot of the game. They were pretty unlucky too with some pretty hard hits, even Tatis. Not that it would have mattered, but at the end of the game, a 4-10 flyout. That was kind of the story of the game for them last night. Ryan Nelson's been great since he's been, I guess, in his new role for the past month and a half, 2 months as the actual starting role now. But he just throws so many fastballs, and this team has seen him so much. This screams of the spot where I think they get their lick back. And this game's probably going to have runs too. That was an honorable mention, some overs in this game, but didn't really want to fade you, Darvish. I think he might be kind of figuring some stuff out and I guess settling down a little bit post-injury, even though he's coming off an absolute gem. Don't want to fade that, but I do want to fade Ryan Nelson. I think the Padres bust early. Score some runs.
Love that square. I thought you were going to put that Woo square on there.
Yeah.
I thought that was something.
Honorable mention.
But yeah, the Ryan Nelson chart as well, that plays. Very, very reds. He's been nails of late. I think he gets mucked up today too. Love these 2 squares from you.
Sure.
I do. It's a good problem to have when you have too many squares.
Yeah.
Right? Great problem to have. All right. W Jersey coming in resubbing for 24 months, 2 years. W's Jersey. Sure he can. We'll be up near Jersey this weekend.
Let's go, Jersey.
Have you gotten your flight yet, Jovan?
I mean, I'm sure we have it. It's not in my possession.
Sure. But I didn't know what time you were going to get up there on Friday, or if you know.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Okay. All right. We'll be up there near Jersey in New York this weekend. The Big Apple, some call it. Be up there to fade Judge in person. W step back Harden as well. 2 years. Damn. Appreciate you, boys. Good luck today. W step back Harden for the resub. I appreciate you, Beast. All right. What's the Woo square? It's his less than 1.5 earned runs allowed. Crazy looking chart. Guy's been getting mucked up of late. I think he shoves today. Love that square. All right. W's. Quick question here real quick. Do you guys think they'll let me get a 0 rings pinstripe jersey inside the stadium this weekend? Do you think they'll let me get that and wear that around the stadium? Or
they're not doing that.
W Pickett Pro. W Pickett at the park this weekend. I feel like they'll let me do it. It doesn't say anything that's, a mean or a bad word, or it's just facts. It's just straight facts.
It's just. You'd probably be better off going to the MLB shop and getting it done.
Maybe. We got Gwiffin coming in resubbing. W Gwiff. Sure he can. 32 months. A seasoned Grizzly veteran. W Gwiff. You're him. Then you're in moose meat if you can't. Yeah, you're not wrong, Chaco. You're not wrong. And again, Yankee fans, they're all talk. They love yapping. They love dancing around, screaming in the outfield, doing roll calls. Yo! They
You got to
love doing
join
that
it.
shit. But when it comes down to actually getting to business, they're not doing shit.
You gonna run up on the guy in right field?
I should. I just want to have a combo. I'm going to ask him a couple questions here.
Get an interview.
Jay Weezy, you're goated, bro. Appreciate the support. Good to see some positive chats. Actually, that's the first one today. Good to see a positive chat. One singular positive chat today. Seriously, very appreciative. Yo! Imagine being a grown-ass man flailing your elbows like that, screaming at another man until he turns around and looks at you and acknowledges you. Somebody didn't get enough attention as a kid.
It's actually wild.
Yo! Volpe! Volpe! Imagine screaming Volpe's name like a freaking little girl at a concert. Screaming Volpe's name.
Just
Unbelievable. How do those people get away with that up there?
it's unreal.
With the roll call. Straight up. I don't get it. All right, W Pickett Pro. Any games you guys want to get involved with? Any games you guys want to look at? And side note, Aaron Judge is 100% hitting a home run on Saturday.
Yeah,
Go and mock
probably
those
is.
bets in.
Probably is.
If you could bet that now and get a better number, you might want to. You might want to because he's hit one on Saturday. That'll be his first home run back. I'm calling it right now.
Who's slated
Calling it
to
right now.
start on the Saturday? Let me see.
Yeah, you mind checking those Carfax or at least, crunching the numbers and seeing who you think starts there for their opponents for the Astros? Very curious. That might be more important than looking at these games.
It might be.
Yep.
Right. Oh, God. Right now it says Colton Gordon.
He might actually hit a home run on Saturday.
Good God. He might hit 3.
Man.
That is just.
Thoughts on Littell versus Shota? Your former Ray. Primetime game tonight. I want to talk about this one. Let's check out the Pickett splits. Pickett Pro splits on this puppy. W Pickett Pro. If you guys aren't hip, check it out on your laptop. Get the free trial. See if you guys want to keep using it. W Pickett Pro. Looks like people are betting on the Cubbies. Shocker. Also, that game last night. Dansby. Was it Dansby Swanson?
Yeah.
Who got
missed
screwed?
first base.
He didn't miss first base.
He
scraped
did.
the top of the bag.
Nah, he missed it.
He scraped the top of the bag.
Oh,
Good.
He did, Krabs, but then he was already out by that point. He needed to step on the bag
With his first foot.
with his first foot. He was already the ball was already in the first baseman's glove by that point.
Brutal way to win or to lose a sharp board play there. Brutal.
Great way to win it though, too, with the under.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Well,
Krabs, wear your 0 rings to Billy's and the bouncer might touch you up. Yeah, dude, the bouncer will certainly beat the crap out of me. That would be good for him. It's great. Come on. Dead Larry Bird, do you think I'm scared of these Yankee fans, bro? You guys are so beaten up. You're so hurt. I talked about this the exact time last year we went up there. The crowd was silent as a fucking church mouse because they were dead inside. They had nothing left. This team sucks the life out of you. Even the Yankee fans are in piss right now. It's crazy. You guys who are so biased and clouded all year saying you're going to win the World Series every year, even you guys are hurt right now. If not, you're in denial. They're all talk. All talk. A lot of bets on the under in this game. Jeez.
win game again. So, I mean, I'm a little scared of what the Pens are, like the shape they're in after yesterday, even though like they went Ben Brown, Nick Martinez. So like they both are kind of flounder, but longer depth guys, but kind of like the first 5 under again.
Wow.
Primetime game, but it's also 2 massive fly ball pitchers with the wind blowing in. There couldn't be a bigger help for a fly ball matchup than this one.
The one thing I don't like is that Littell's coming off just an absolute gem piece.
Yeah, he's just whatever. He just does what he shouldn't. He does what you don't want him to do. It's a little different though, because it's also his first game with the Reds.
Yeah. Looking to make a statement. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe a square, relatively square, first 5 under here. I don't know how
Yeah.
square first 5 under can ever be, but in this case, it might make a little bit of sense. Okay.
It does.
Real quick, thoughts on Milwaukee, Atlanta before we get to the squad ride here. Thoughts on Peralta versus Wentz, who's been just both these guys have been him.
Yeah, I don't fade Joey Wentz. He's goated. New resurgence with the Braves. Stuff looks fantastic. I don't fade him. Even
Total
though
in this game has dropped a run.
Yeah, just crazy.
Could be another square first 5 under here.
Could be.
Okay. All right, let's craft up a squad ride here. I want to cash another one here. Let's stay perfect in August. We are 2-0 in August. Let's go 3-0. Very important. Everybody lock in. Make your way over to the Twitch and Goots. If you're around, if you don't mind, if you have a second, run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. Jobs. All right, chat. W vote yesterday. W play. You guys had the right fucking call on the card yesterday for the squad ride poll. Love it. Make your way over to the Twitch chat. Let's lock in again. Let's fucking smack another squad ride. Okay? Jovan. The Nats are winning this game through 5 innings. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy.
Put it in.
The Nats are winning this game through 5 innings.
You put meat for the first 5, I listen and I tap in. Don't care who it is.
Let's not act like my Nats takes have been fucking good this year, too.
Yeah,
Good.
I have. You've been seeing them.
Good. All right. What are you in love with for today?
I'd like to nominate a trip back to LA. This time with more fun.
Wow. I hate overs, but I'll trust, as I always do. Cardinals, Dodgers, over 9.
Yeah. You got the Michaelis report? I feel like you're the Michaelis whisperer.
Yeah.
He gets
stinks. He stinks. Lights might be too bright for him, a guy who also has shown that in big games on TV, big games against big opponents, he shits down legs. So strikeouts looks low after a couple good starts. He's been much better of late than he's been, the majority of the season. So it could be a decent time to fade. And back runs. The over in LA after we got in there and had the under yesterday. So I'm in. Got one more question for you.
Yep.
Judge returns tonight. Their Lord and Savior. They open up plus 125. When's the last time you've seen the Yankees open up plus 125?
Probably hasn't happened too much.
Might not have happened this entire season, Jovan. Everybody's betting on them to get their lick back after their blown game last night that they should have won. Should have ended the streak last night. Makes me like the Rangers even better today. What's keeping us from putting Evaldi in here?
Probably not much.
Nothing.
Second straight Evaldi start. He could be in the poll.
I think we put him in.
Put him in.
I think we put the Rangers on the ML in here. Make this a 3-headed snake. 3 plays, 3 winners. We got the Nats first 5 ML. The Rangers on the ML. And we've got the Dodgers, Cardinals over 9. 3 plays, 3 winners. You got 2 minutes to lock in your vote. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get involved. Get involved. Click the play you know is turning green. Click the play you love the most. The play you loved hearing us talk about today. And you thought to yourself, yeah, that shit's green. I don't care who gave it. Lock in. Just like yesterday, click the button of the play you know is turning green. You guys did a great job weeding out that O's cake yesterday.
Great job.
I thought it was going to go the other way around, I'll be honest, but it didn't. Great job weeding out the cake yesterday. Stay dialed. Click the right button, please. Get those votes in. Get those votes in. Only got about a minute left. Okay?
Joe Higgy, man. It's unbelievable.
I mean, yeah, how did that even happen? Did it like kick off of a player's knee or foot or something? Like what? Did you check an instant replay and zoom in? Like what?
It was just like a glitch. It was like a fumble that just flew.
Crazy.
It's unreal.
Crazy. Chat, get involved. Get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. We have a Trent birthday surge stream starting up right after this. You guys better bring the great vibes and the great plays, book plays, prize pick squares. Don't gatekeep. Get those plays in. Help Trent cash something today. He deserves it. Big birthday. Get involved. Please get those sell jobs ready. Could just be a Dodgers over for Trent's B-Day. Could be the Nats on Gore Day. Maybe Trent hits his first Gore take in his lifetime.
That would be
Could
huge.
be huge. Come
Could
on.
be massive.
Come on. Get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. You got about 10 seconds left. What's it going to be? And stick around for the third stream, please. Please. Pitch Trent a winner. He's been dialed in this week. Reward him with a great sell job.
Happy birthday wishes. Should do a counter.
Here they come. And we got a tie. Goots, I'm going to need you here. Goots, I'm going to need you here, man.
An attitude.
No shot. Goots took
2 words.
Unbelievable.
I love it. Let's fucking go, Goots. Goots, I got this James Wood trophy for you, signed, sealed, delivered. All you're going to do is say hashtag Natted. Not getting a hashtag. Okay. Not getting a hashtag. That's all right, Goots. We'll take what we can get here. Nats first 5 ML. Mackenzie Gourday. Sure. He shoves. Let's go, Goots. Let's go, Jovan. Let's go, chat.
Unreal.
Have a day today. Have a day today. And stick around for the third stream. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be.